David.
Go on, Dave. Go on, DW.
Hey, DW. Whoa. One of the best children programs of my generation. Fucking.
Absolutely. Oh, look at this. This is good. Wrestle around the outside. And apologies for the break there in the broadcast, but we're back to racing action. You join us on lap 2 at Imola. It's 𝗪𝗔𝗞𝗘 that leads the way from 𝗤𝗙𝗔𝗟𝗡𝗏, 𝗪𝗏𝗡𝗏, David Ressel in 4th place here on your screen. Behind, Simon Wilkes and Regan Mitchell just getting around Mark 𝗏𝗏𝗔𝗥 in the 666 Aston Martin. That's been a flying start from Regan Mitchell in the number 69 Maserati. As we see Wilkes running 2 wheels over the grass on the exit of the 𝗬𝗧 hairpin. As they run up the hill, Mark Raddenbury's fallen backwards. He's now down into 8th place. It's 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 looking to the inside there. 3 wide into 𝗪𝗏𝗘𝗏. This is going to be difficult contact though. And up ahead, there's been a major collision there. That's 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, David Ressel, and one of the Aston Martin spun round as well. Sorry, Simon Wilkes in the Audi. That's a major collision.
Oh, it's Aaron off. Aaron's off
for
in the
race
sand trap.
result. Is that Aaron Walker? Aaron, is that the KTM? Yes, there he is, off. And as he rejoins, contact with Wilkes. It's all unravelling for the championship leader.
I mean, huge carnage there. We just saw it in the peripherals of the camera there as we were on board. We saw a big collision, three-car collision, and then just off into the distance on the sand trap. Aaron Walker, championship leader, all the way down the bottom there. Another it's 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 goes off. Misses his braking completely. What on earth is going on?
Some of the established names in this championship are struggling on these opening 2 laps of the Imola circuit. And look who this has helped out. Regan Mitchell in the number 69 Maserati up to a podium place with his championship contenders further down the order, languishing outside the top 10. As Adam Isalovic in the Simsport Racing 111 Audi going side by side with Marcus Hagel into the Tamburello curve. But Hagel sneaking through and now up to 5th place. It's been a fantastic start for the McLaren driver who's looking to get back on the podium after a maiden appearance on the rostrum last time out at Paul Ricard. And Aaron, we saw last time how good that McLaren is in a straight line. With the long opening sector here at Imola, it's certainly making use of it.
Yeah, we saw the McLaren be definitely one of the hot contenders here at Imola in previous seasons of the GT4 Championship, brought to you by Simsport, as we're on board with Aaron Walker here, looking to go. He's right at the very back. He is dead last, but he'll have 40 minutes of race time to catch up everybody there as he tries to look up the inside of Simon Wilkes.
Does he get the job done through the 𝗬𝗧 court? Yes, he does. So on the exit, that KTM looking very strong indeed, gets past the number 12 Audi. That's 12th place now for Walker, but plenty of work still to be done because look, this is the rest of the race. They're up through Aqua Minerale already as Aaron Walker and Simon Wilkes are just heading into that corner. So he's got a sizable disadvantage at the moment. He's going to have to overturn that across the remaining 39 minutes. We see Mark 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's running wide on the exit of the Variante Outer, jumping over those sausage curbs there, and that's dropped him back into the clutches of 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who's had a difficult start to this race owing to that collision with David Ressel as they come down the hill into the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 corners, into the 2 left-handers that round out the lap. And it is the Aston Martin holds on to the position, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 finding himself here in an Aston Martin sandwich because that's David Ressel in the number 5 looking to fight back immediately following that incident. And Aaron, we've been quite impressed by David's performance so far this season, but a messy start to his race here at Imola.
Again, yeah, always it was owed to that big collision he had with 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 5 around the outside there, then turn 1. That was fantastic there as Mark 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 looks to get the cutback. Is he going to do it? I don't think he is. I think 5 covers him off. He's got the speed in the BMW, but he won't have it under brakes.
So as they go into Villeneuve through the left and the right, 5 holds onto the positions. Someone kicking up the dust just ahead. That might have been Chris Pinchbeck in the number 43 Alpine, who's up to 8th place now, as Ressel is working hard to get that position off his fellow Aston Martin driver Mark 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏s as they head up the hill towards 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Here's 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Under pressure from Regan Mitchell. The number 18, Camaro, have done motorsport with positive perception, coming under fire from the Flying Banana as they head up the hill through 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and onto this short shoot down towards the 𝗪𝗏𝗡𝗏𝗏. Mitchell looking to the inside in the Maserati. Can't get the job done there. He's challenged from behind as well by Mark Raddenbury in the 750. So he's in a sandwich of Camaros at the moment as they exit the chicane and on the run down the hill towards the 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏. Actually, it looks like Raddenbury's now sizing up a pass on Mitchell. Can he get the job done? No, he can't, as they go into the two left-handers that round out the lap. But all this battling is allowing Rich Pixley in the number 11 Wild Things Aston Martin to stretch his legs and extend the gap 4.3 seconds. Now the advantage of the number 11 Aston Martin driver, and as they cross the line, it's now gone up another 10th in that final sector. So all this battling is costing this group time. So on screen you can see as Mitchell looks to the inside into Tamburello, or just a fainting move just to see if he can disturb Gilles. There's 4 cars on your screen now, and that's Ollie Gilles, Mitchell, Raddenbury and Hagel. Ipsanovic actually joining the party as well in the 111 Audi. David Russell, though, unable to get past Mark 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 for the time being. And Aaron, when you're in the same car as your opponent, what are you trying to do to get past? Because equal machinery, equal performance characteristics in the car beneath you, how can you make that difference?
I think you're really reading the driver's strengths and weaknesses around the track. Every driver, of course, will have their like bogey corner, so to speak, where they might not get it right, and you kind of just you kind of read the situation, trying to read what your opponent is able to do and not able to do, and try and work it into a plan almost. And I think that's really key, especially at Imola, where there's not a lot of track room. Sorry.
As the cars are bunching up here, Regan Mitchell's trying to make a move on Ollie Gilles through 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. He tried the outside and then cut back to the inside. He's got the inside line into 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, but behind, Marcus Hagel swoops around the outside of Mark Raddenbury, who was delayed in what was a roadblock formed by his teammate and the number 69 Maserati. So the two Camaros both losing a position each in that exchange through the middle sector. It's now Mitchell up to second place, Ollie Gilles down to third, Marcus Hagel up to fourth place, and has his eyes set on a second consecutive podium finish as Russell looks to the inside into the final two left-handers at 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏. Can't get the job done though. But now look at the straight line speed advantage of the pole Simsport McLaren. Hagel looking mega in a straight line. He's already pulled out alongside Ollie Gilles in the run up towards Tamburello, and he's got past before the braking zone. That McLaren is slippery and speedy in a straight line compared to the competition. Hagel up to third place, and that move looked signed, sealed and delivered, Aaron, before they even got to the corner.
Yeah, I mean, when you can make passes that easy on a straight, it's really no sweat for you for the rest of the race. You know, you're just going to hold it in the corners, keep it nice and tight, and just spread your legs on the straight. And Marcus Hagel's up to third position, going for his second podium of the championship. Mitchell, though, 3.5 seconds behind Pixley. They're still in camera, and I think that this last 35 minutes of the race is going to be a real show of what Mitchell can do in that Maserati.
Already he's taken sizable lumps out of Rich Pixley's race lead. The gap now down to 3.4 seconds. So Mitchell already looking to prove his pace in the number 69 Maserati. We've seen it all season. We've seen how he's managing to extract performance from a car that many shy away from. The Maserati doesn't have any electrical assist, no traction control, no ABS that so many, or if not all, of the modern GT4 cars come with. And that, Aaron, you don't, as a driver, you don't want to trigger those ABS and traction control features because they can slow you down, but it's equally difficult without them there just to lean on if you need them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between having them and not needing them, and needing them and not having them, which is what Mitchell's got. He's got nothing. He's got no 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 in his car. So I kind of feel like even in the other GT4 cars, you're running very small amounts. You know, maybe traction control 1, ABS 2, something around that area for pretty much all the GT4 cars. But yeah, Mitchell has got an extra job on his hands when he's got none of those aids. And
just to explain as well, the traction control, how that slows you down is it cuts in, doesn't it, and interferes with you applying the power.
Yes, essentially, if you've got a lead foot, so to speak, and you keep bashing that accelerator pedal, the electronics will tell the car that you're putting too much throttle on, and will slow it down. It's sort of a safety feature, but it really does get in the way, and it can hinder you when you're racing or qualifying.
So, on screen at the moment, this is Martin-Pilkington. That's 5. He's off into the gravel on the second part of the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 chicane. That's going to allow 𝗏𝗏𝗕𝗏𝗏 through and up into 9th place. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, though, trying to make the move work around the outside of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 5 able to close the door on the exit as they run up the hill in towards the 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, but 𝗏𝗏𝗏 keen to get past the BMW and not let his fellow Aston Martin driver of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 scamper off into the distance as we cut to this battle, which is for the drivers 4th, 5th and 6th. It's 𝗔𝗠𝗟𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏, and the Audi at the back of the pack has really caught up in the preceding lap. Is actually looking for a way past 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who defends quite aggressively, moving twice on the run up towards 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 will feel hard done by there. It looked like he had the run out of 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and up over the crest, down the short chute towards the right-left chicane as behind. 5 has made another mistake, and David Ressel was trying to benefit from it. They're going side by side almost down the hill into 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, but Ressel has to tuck in behind the BMW, which is lightning off the corners. Ressel looks to the inside though, can't make the move. It's almost just showing the nose of the Ressel Racing number 5 Aston Martin, and with a livery like that, you're not going to miss it in your mirrors. And on the exit of 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, once again trying to get past the BMW and get that traction down out of the corner as its teammates side by side. 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 dips 2 wheels into the grass on the right hand side into Tamburello, but he's got past his teammate 𝗤𝗏𝗔𝗟𝗘𝗏. That looked coordinated, but oh dear, 2 wheels into the sand through the left, right, left. That's going to back him up into his teammate again. It looks like there's no team orders here. 𝗔𝗟𝗘𝗏 side by side. No, the second of the 2 done a motorsport positive perception. Kārmaro's opting to back in, but 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 deep again into Villeneuve. And the position exchanges hands again, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 looks to the outside, tries to get the job done round 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Can he do it? Yes, they're side by side. The Audi is quick off the mark as well. They're still alongside each other on the long run up the hill to 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And as they get towards the double left-hander, it looks like 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has got the job done. Swoops round the outside. Optimistic driving there from 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Aaron.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity, and he took it with such confidence as well. Saw the mistake ahead of him into the second chicane and really just dive around the outside. It is very possible to do that, but you're kind of not using the braking marker that you would typically use to kind of hit the apex on the inside. You've got to go a little bit later, so you've got to trust that you know the track inside out to do that job. Well done.
As we see, immediately 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 making an impact. He's passed the other Dun Motorsport Kārmaro of 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 now, so he will be up to 4th place come the end of this lap. And there's a train of 3 Kārmaros there as Kieran Vidago has now risen up the order in the battle for 7th place. Is on the right hand side of your screen now. The main picture on screen, David Ressel. He's got the overlap on Cameron 5, running down the hill, late on the brakes. Can he get the move done? He's still side by side with the 13 BMW. Through the first left at 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and through the second, Ressel gets the job done. And I've avoided saying this all season, Aaron, but Ressel wrestles the position back. But it looks like
oh dear,
Cameron 5's not going down without a fight.
No, he's not. I mean, that straight line speed of the BMW it's such a sheep in wolf's clothing. Not many people think about it, but the BMW is huge. It's got great speed, great mechanical grip. It just suffers in the braking, and Ressel can't capitalize on that. Have to say, just notice right at the back again, Walker did make the position up on Wilkes. He's back to last place, so no bueno for Walker.
And that's going to be highly impactful on the championship, as here we go again through the Villeneuve chicane. Another instant for one of the Kārmaros, 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 now running wide. It was his teammate on the previous lap, and that's enabling Kieran Vidago to look up the inside of Mark 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 through 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. So there's Kārmaros side by side. There is an Alpine in there, just hidden behind the block of Chevy Might. And on the run up towards 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, contact. 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and Vidago side by side hit. They managed to gather it up. That's opening the door for Chris Pinchbeck, who's unable to make benefit of the position. But Vidago's through now, up to 6th place as they head into Accra Minerali. Side by side contact on into the 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 curve, 2 into 1. Never going to go into that corner. And up ahead, this battling is allowing Ādams Ādams to really stretch his legs. He's now got a lead of over 2 seconds over this battle pack containing the Kārmaros. But back down the order. Fyfe did get past 𝗏𝗏 on the straight. He's made a mistake though through the 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and 𝗏𝗏's going to want to make the move now because Simon Wilkes and Aaron Walker have caught this battling duo in the fight for 10th place. Down the hill into 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's going to try and get it done for their second consecutive lap up the inside of the BMW. They're now still side by side in the run between the two left-handers, and he's got the job done. But I wouldn't be surprised to see that BMW drag back past the number 5 Aston Martin. He's going to have a difficult time of it. No lane change enabled because Simon Wilkes pulls up alongside in the number 12 Audi as they run across the start-finish line. And Aaron Walker's sitting, waiting in the wings to help and regain that position as they're nearly 3 wide on the run into Tamburello. 5 to the outside, 𝗏𝗏 to the inside. He defends his position, and that's crucial because now he's got a clean run through the opening corners, and he can make best through the middle 2 sectors as Wilkes is looking for a way past Fyfe, who defends valiantly behind Walker, trying to follow the BMW through, and in fact he does, round the outside into Villeneuve, gets the position. Wilkes tries to cut back though on the run up to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, but importantly Aaron Walker's on his way now up to 12th place. Can he just cut out those mistakes that have seen him drop back behind Wilkes and fight up the order?
I mean, what great respect between these drivers here. I mean, Fyfe and Wilkes went side by side through that chicane there. They could have squeezed each other off the track. They didn't. Simon Wilkes ultimately lost out. That was a great opportunistic read by Aaron Walker. It's a position up, but he's got a long way to go as he sits in 12th place currently.
Looking at the timing screens, Regan Mitchell is setting about slicing into that lead of Rich Pixie. The gap now down to 1.8 seconds. It was a gap. Oh, it was instant up ahead. The Camaros have all got together. Kieran Vidago, and it looks like Gilles might have lost it through the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. That's going to drop him behind. The Alpine of Chris Pinchbeck is down the hill. Vidago loses out as well to Mark Raddenbury. So it's all change in the battle for the top 5 and 5th place. It's now Vidago who looks to have lost out. He's now behind Raddenbury. Pinchbeck up into 8th place, I believe, and this will all change, sorry, as they cross the line. The timing screens update, and that is really going to play benefit to these 2 drivers on screen. Aaron Walker and Simon Wilkes will be hoping the battling continues to help them close their gaps and fight up the order from their current positions in 12th and 13th, back of the grid at the moment. As this battling continues, as we see Fyfe skipping across the gravel at Tamburello, must have missed his braking point or something. He's gone all the way through the sand and rejoins on the final part of the corner. He's going to be traffic now as Wilkes and Walker try to go side by side into the Villeneuve chicane, but no, Wilkes offers the position back to Walker and opts to just file in behind as Walker gets all kinds of crossed up in the number 99 KTM, attempting to find a way past Fyfe, and as they run through 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 again, Wilkes looking to the inside of Walker. We've got a replay now, which is the run into 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. This is Vidago. Gilles on the inside makes a slide through the first apex, and he can't catch it through the left-hander. He just pinballs around, and the incident costing him a position and costing Kieran Vidago time, as Aaron Walker now all over the back of Simon Wilkes. And come the season end, Aaron, this little battle on screen, okay, it's further down the order, it's 12th and 13th, but points mean prizes at the end of the day. And Walker and Wilkes are in the championship fight for sure.
I mean, these guys are dog last, but I can't believe how close the racing is, and the pedigree of drivers there. Cameron Fyfe getting all sorts of wrong again. He's clipping the grass, lets the 2 drivers through. I think that's kind of a big mistake, but we've seen how fast that BMW is as it exits the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, so I can't imagine him allowing Aaron Walker to get away unless he intensely wants him to.
So let's see then, round the final left-hander on to the start-finish bend. There's Fyfe flashing the lights. He potentially feels a bit hard done by how easily those cars got past him following the mistake. On that previous lap, though, Mitchell went the fastest of the race, only to be beaten by Salivic, who sets a 1:51.276. So that's the fastest lap so far, as Fyfe looked to the inside of Walker into Tamburello, but unable to get the job done despite the overspeed that number 13 BMW clearly carrying in comparison to the number 99 KTM. It looks like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 as well is slipping backwards. He's down now to 9th place, coming under fire from David Ressel. As here's that battle further up the order. Vidago fighting for 5th place with 𝗪𝗚𝗕𝗏. He hasn't been able to make the pass again after being caught up in that incident with 𝗪𝗚𝗏's teammate 𝗬𝗔𝗟𝗚. So the fight continues, and waiting in the wings is Chris Pinchbeck as side by side up the hill. Aaron Walker trying to get the pass on Simon Wilkes into 𝗬𝗚𝗏𝗧, but no, he can't get the overlap. They both run wide, 4 wheels off the track, but more so for Simon Wilkes, who I think offered up the position there, lifted out the throttle and allows Aaron Walker through for 11th place. But still, these two drivers yet to catch up to the back of the field. 22 3/4 minutes remaining. We're nearly halfway into this one. Plenty of time for drama to take place, but get the feeling, Aaron, that Walker and Wilkes really need to kick on now and start picking off drivers if they're to fight into the top 10.
I mean, ideally, yeah, Tim, but I kind of feel like there's a little bit of salt in the wounds between those two. Something's gone on. They've definitely made contact, and it's not the first time in this championship that they've actually come to blows. I remember at Bathurst not too long ago, they did exactly the same thing, and that was for the race win. So I just don't feel like they're forgiving each other at the moment. I wish they could look beyond it and maybe work together, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Let's see how it plays out then. Two drivers forming a rivalry almost across this season, as we see Mark 𝗏𝗏𝗔𝗥 dipping 2 wheels on the grass on the run into Tamburello. That's not going to help his chances of closing up to Chris Pinchbeck, as 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 once again flying round this Imola circuit. He's closed the gap, reduced it again to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, now 1.5 seconds, as a drive-through penalty for championship leader Aaron Walker. That's going to be insanely costly here tonight. Such a long pit lane at the Imola circuit. The number 99 KTM will be trundling down on the speed limiter for what feels like a lifetime. That's going to drop him behind Wilkes, behind Fyfe, and potentially a long way down. That's disastrous for Walker, isn't it, Aaron?
That's huge. That, you know, that in terms of points, that's not great for his championship. But there is a silver lining, Tim, and the fact that it's the reverse grid means that he will be starting. If it stays like this, if he finishes last in this race, he will be starting first. And we all know if that KTM gets the legs at the beginning, it will pull away. So maybe this is his opportunity to think, you know, he needed one bad result. You know, he needs to get it out of your system. It's inevitable. It's always going to happen in a championship. This is his bogey round, and he'll just move forward from here.
The next round at Suzuka in a week's time is definitely going to lend itself to the KTM, as on screen at the moment Mark 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's doing his best to resist the advantages of 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 as they run down the hill into 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 through the double left that rounds out the lap and on to this start-finish bend, really. As we see in the background where the Walker dives to pit lane, and he does, so he's going to serve his drive-through penalty immediately. We're into the second half of the race, so I'll give you the run through the order. It's 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 that leads the way in the number 11 Wild Things Racing. Aston Martin behind 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. A gap of 1.3 seconds separates the top two, as it's Marcus Hagel rounding out the podium for the second time in 2 weeks. Ādams Misalovic is in 4th place ahead of Mark Radbury, and Kieran Vidago is still locked together. Then it's Chris Pinchbeck in the number 43 Alpine, newcomer to the championship this season, doing a fine job in 7th place, with Mark 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, the driver of the 666 Aston Martin, on screen at the moment, battling away with 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 in the number 18 Dunn Motorsport with Positive Perception Camaro. Then behind it's David Ressell, who seems to have been stuck behind a number of drivers at different points this race, unable to get the job done yet. He's in 10th place, looking to kick on and make a move past 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who at the moment has got reverse on. He seems to be going backwards down the order. Then it's Simon Wilkes, who is 3rd in the championship. He's 11th at the moment in the order, having a difficult start to the race, involved in a collision, it looked, early on the day of wrestling Cameron Fyfe. He's going to be in need to push up the order in the hope of optimising his position and his points gain on Aaron Walker, who's down in 13th place. We see Gilles on screen running wide through Variante Alta, and Ressell gets through, so the number 5 Aston Martin up to 9th place on the run down into 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. It's Cameron Fyfe, who is in 12th place, the number 13 BMW, and as mentioned before, Aaron Walker in the number 99 KTM, championship leader, 31.6 seconds off the back of the grid, and with 18.5 minutes to go, he's certainly got his work cut out if he wants to score more points than he will do for 13th place. It looks like some of the battles, though, are settling down, Aaron, but it looks like it's heating up at the front of the order because 𝗏𝗡𝗅𝗡𝗧 is responding. A 151.5 on that previous lap compared to Regan Mitchell's 151.9. But a bit deep into toes is going to cost him time there. But it doesn't look like it's going the way of Regan Mitchell at the moment. Pixley fighting back.
Yeah, Pixley just responding in perfect form, really. Just trying to extend that lead here. You know, the tyres are going to be superbly bedded in. He's not really had to push that Aston Martin too much, especially at the start there. As we just see Simon Wilkes with the drive-through. So the rivalry between Wilkes and Walker not going anywhere. He is probably going to slot. Well, they're going to continue battling, I feel like, because as Aaron Walker went to serve his his drive-through, Wilkes was just behind him. So I kind of feel like they're going to be battling out once again, just for that very marginal point.
Wilkes going for the overcut there on the drive-through penalty strategy. So let's see where he rejoins. The gap between the two drivers at the moment is around 35 seconds. So the drive-through penalty here at Imola costing around the same. I mean, 32 seconds potentially. So let's see how that battle resumes. Two drivers in the championship fight will be battling right down the order and really for the front row positions on the reversed grid. Next time out at Suzuka, David Ressel on screen, heading down the hill. And once again, he finds himself staring at the back bumper of Mark 𝗏𝗏𝗕𝗏𝗏's number 666, Aston Martin. He's been unable to get past the number 666 car on numerous occasions this race. You'll see the battle resumes. Can he get the job done again? He's in the slipstream on the run through across the start-finish line, through the curving left in towards Tamburello. In that previous lap, Ressel were 52.3 compared to 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏's 52.5. So it does look like the number 5 Aston Martin has the advantage over the number 666 Vantage. But let's see if he can continue that pace. As towards the top of the order, Marcus Hagel setting his fastest, personal best fastest lap on that previous lap. As we see, and that was another mistake from 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏s through the left-right at Villeneuve. So that's going to cost him time. As looking at the timing screens again, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is lapping more than competitively. He's right up there in terms of pace with the top three, closing the gap. So we could have a four-way fight for the podium here. In fact, look, they're all in the camera shot. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 in the silver and black Aston Martin leads the way in front of the bright yellow Maserati of Mitchell, but just behind Hagel's McLaren 570S, and then towards the back of shot, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has closed up. Aaron, this is spicing up with the final 15 minutes on hand at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we saw 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 in practice on pitwall.live. You know, his times were, they were second to none, really. He was leading the practice session, so, I mean, he should have pure confidence in that Audi GT4. I have to say, though, I mean, it looked like Pixley lost a lot of time in that second sector of that lap we were on board with him, because he was 1.7 seconds and all of a sudden he lost a bunch of time. He is starting to regain it a little bit. Mitchell's at a second distance now, but Hagel and Isalovic are really catching up.
Mitchell off through Tamburello. He's gone deep into the first corner, skips across through the gravel, and that's allowed Marcus Hagel up to second place. So the number 69 Maserati, who's hoping to close the gap to the race lead and potentially claim his first victory in the GT4 Championship, has seen all his efforts undone by a mistake at turn one. He's going to have to pull himself together and kick on. It's not going to be easy, because for company now, he's got the number 111 of Adam Isalovic. These two very equally matched on pace. Isalovic as well will be looking for a breakthrough performance, because although he's finished in the top 5 at every race so far this season, you will feel he deserves a podium finish. He certainly had the pace to do so, but unfortunately the Audi running very wide there into Acqua Minerale. That could see him pick up a couple of track limits infringements. As I noticed on the timing screen, another crucial impact on the event and indeed the championship. Simon Wilkes, stop-go penalty. That will be for speeding in the pit lane. He just served his drive-through as a result of track limits. rejoined the circuit, 1.7 seconds behind Aaron Walker. It goes from bad to worse for the driver with the number 12, 𝗬𝗪𝗓 Racing Audi. He will now have a stop-go 30-second penalty, which can be converted and applied to your race result, I believe, Aaron, or does he need to serve that within 3 laps?
I think he does need to serve that. There won't be enough time left for him not to serve it. I think he does need to serve that. But either way, it is in terms of points in this race, it's a sad state of affairs for Simon Wilkes. He's been battling hard, even though he's been battling for second to last place. He has been. He deserves it. He deserves a medal for his battling. As we're on board with David Ressel, who is trying for like the numerous amount of times to get past Mike 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, looks to the outside. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 covers him, dives to the inside. I feel like Ressel's got this covered. They're going to come together. Martin 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 gives him no room, just wipes the front of that Aston Martin off, and he'll have to do that all over again, and it opens a door for 𝗤𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Ressel for the umpteenth time trying to make a move, but he's now under fire from 𝗔𝗠𝗓 in the 18 Camaro, who's holding on to 10th place, but has his eyes set on 9th, and a bit of a recovery considering he's dropped off the competitive order really in this second half of the race. Ressel though looking determined, and I think the red mist will descend now, because 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's a bit of a weave really on the way into Tamburello to cover Ressel's line, and then through the left that opens the lap. The door was firmly slammed in the face of the number 5 Aston Martin. So it's 3 drivers now all together battling for 8th, 9th and 10th positions. They've got 13 seconds and change over the number 13 BMW of Cameron Fyfe. Meanwhile, further up the order, it looks like 𝗬𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 has closed right up to Ricard Mitchell. The gap of now down to half a second between the two of them as they run through the final left at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and on to the start-finish section here at Imola. It's such a long drag down from the final corner in towards Tamburello. Plenty of time to benefit from the slipstream and plenty of time to weigh up your attack on the driver in front. Mitchell, though, will have his eyes firmly locked in the mirror as that Audi R8 GT4 closes up on the run-in to Tamburello. Mitchell goes defensive, but 𝗬𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has more. He cuts the inside, in fact, cuts across the grass as the door was closed, but he rejoined the track. That was a bit of a confusing one, Aaron.
I think he forgot where the tarmac started. The turn started. He just turned across the grass. No, in all seriousness, though, I kind of understand why he did that, because it looked like obviously Mitchell went super defensive. Adam really went on the inside. There was really only a car's width, and if Mitchell's turning in, there's really only one place that Adam's going to end up, and that's in the passenger door of the Maserati. So it's kind of like get on the grass, lose the position, live to fight another day.
As we see, David Ressel's made a mistake and he's lost out to 𝗔𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who in turn makes a mistake on the exit of Villeneuve. It's going to allow the number 5 Aston Martin to fight back around the outside at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. They're side by side out of the slow left-hander and running up the hill in towards 𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 as we head into the final 10 minutes of this race. Into the double left-hander though, Ressel's got the position back. Fortunately for him though, the gap now to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏s is more than extended with this exchange of positions. As we see, again, Mitchell holding on to 3rd place for all his life really at the moment. He wants this podium, but 𝗬𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 wants his first appearance on the rostrum this season. As they head down the hill in towards 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 with the number 111 Audi looking particularly feisty, but Mitchell looks eager to bite back whenever an attack forms from 𝗬𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And once again, seconds out, round 2 on the run down the stretch, this front stretch. Let's see if 𝗬𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 can close up in the slipstream with the number 69 Maserati. Great shot here, brought to you by Steve Proudly from our broadcast team, and in towards Tamburello. 𝗬𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 tries to go to the outside this time. Mitchell, though, able to defend the line from the high ground on the inside. Lives to fight another day in 3rd place, but as 𝗬𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 runs wide, that's going to cost him time. And Aaron, I was about to say, I get the feeling it's a matter of when, not if 𝗬𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 makes another move for that position, but a mistake like that's going to be costly.
Yeah, tremendous understeer there from the Audi of 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I mean, he's got his foot jammed on the acceleration pedal. You can see, because that's just a kind of natural line. You're accelerating pre-apex, and you're going to run that curve, but he's all in the sand there, which is not going to help him in terms of that closing speed when he comes into the next heavy braking zone. As you can see, that distance just widening there. Mitchell keeping it steady, really not making any costly mistakes, and Adam 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏 looks very. He wants to make this move. Like you said, it's going for his first podium. It's almost on the tip of his tongue, and there's one yellow banana in front of him that's stopping him do that.
A fairly sizable banana indeed as well is that number 69 Maserati. I don't know how Mitchell's able to keep that thing pointing in a straight line. He's also able to defend rather valiantly from the advances of that number 111 Audi. On screen though, at the moment, Marcus Hagel looks to be setting about closing the lead and reducing it indeed to Rich Pixley. It's now 1.2 seconds. Last time round, Pixley a 1:51.8, Hagel a 1:51.6. We'll get an update as they cross the line this time. Hagel, who's off the back of his maiden podium finish at Paul Ricard, is looking to go one better, and indeed on that previous lap a monumental 6/10 faster than Pixley. So this gap is coming down at a rate of knots. The gap now down to only a second, and Pixley will know that, won't he, Aaron? Because that McLaren is closing fast. The last thing you want to do though is start looking in your mirrors.
Well, not only that, but Pixley is now in tow distance. He's now going to be able to, Hagel's now going to be getting that draft. If he can maintain this distance he's got now and exit 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 with the same distance, he'll have him in the tow. We know, we've seen it previously in this race. If Hagel can get in the tow on the main straight, he'll have the overtake done by the first braking zone.
Closing the gap even more so now. It's down to 0.7 of a second as behind the battle for third place, the final step on the podium continues. 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 trying to find a way past Regan Mitchell into the Piratella. He's unable to make the pass, and Mitchell holds on to third place for now. 6.5 minutes on the clock. We're nearing the final few laps here at Imola in the Simsport Racing GT4 Championship. It's season 6, and it's been a typically enthralling race, as we've come to know and love from this championship, as Regan Mitchell going defensive on the run-in to 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. He's really having to cover the line to stop 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 making a move as they exit the chicane. And on the long run down towards 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, he's coming under fire once again. Just hovering towards the middle of the track as 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 ducks to the inside, but unable to make the move there. He's just showing the nose with that Audi GT4 car, trying to force Mitchell into mistake. But crucially, 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 needs to keep his run clean in order to keep safe and keep on the track and make the move when it presents itself. The front of the order though, the gap now down to 0.4, as Hagel must have been within slipstream range on the run in towards the first corner. It doesn't look like he's made the pass yet, as we see 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 looking to the outside into Tamburello. Can he get it done this time? He's alongside still through the first apex, up over the yellow curbs. There's nearly contact with the 69 Maserati, but they managed to keep it on the grey stuff and avoid exchanging paint through the left, right, left. And on the run down to Villeneuve, it's the same order as it was at the start of the lap. They get the feeling that it's not going to be too long before 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 makes another lunge for that final step on the rostrum. Into 𝗬𝗧 though, it's still line astern. Really, Aaron, we've got two really intense battles heating up here. Hagel with the straight line speed advantage closing up to Pixley, and Mitchell and 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who looked very evenly matched, fighting out for that third place.
Yeah, Tim, what's extraordinary is I beggars belief, I thought that Audi would have had that Maserati on the straight, but what's really piquing my interest in is super curious is how much speed does that Maserati have? I know it doesn't have those, the electronic aids of ABS and traction control, but how much speed does it have? Because I thought the Audi for sure was going to take it on the straight, and it's just not been able to make the move. Of course, in the toe, look at this, super close, just bump drafting, really, just scraping the bump of that banana of Mitchell there. He's looking to make the pass. I kind of feel like it's going to be here, down into 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. They go side by side. No, just mounts the curb there. That's going to be no good for Adam. He's going across the grass again. Contact. They come together.
𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 trying to go up the inside, two wheels on the grass, and makes contact with the side of Regan Mitchell. That's an exchange for third place position. It looks like, though, 𝗬𝗪𝗡 is going to pull to the side and allow the Maserati back through. Sportsman-like conduct indeed from 𝗬𝗪𝗡, although he will be investigated by the stewards for causing the incident in the first place. Potentially, to answer your question, Aaron, about the straight line speed of that Audi, it is carrying 10 kilos of ballast. So that might just be capping that straight line performance of the R8 LMS. As here on screen, Hagel again trying to make a way past Rich Pixley for the race victory. The number 11, Wild Things Racing, Aston Martin, has led every lap so far. He's been stellar at the top of the pile this evening. It'd be a sensational victory if Pixley can hold on for it. At the moment, it looks like we're going to have a new winner in the championship, joining the list of 12 drivers already with one win to their name. The most winningest driver in the championship, Aaron Walker, with 7 victories across the 5.5 seasons so far, down in 12th place and unable to make an impact on this Imola event. So we're seeing once again a classic storyline emerging here in this GT4 championship. The established names struggling and the newbies flying up the order. Marcus Hagel on course now for a second consecutive podium in the McLaren. But Rich Pixley doing his best to hold on to what would be a maiden victory. Let's see, though, where they cross the line, because with 2.25 minutes to go, it might look like we're heading on to the final lap of the race. 1:51 lap previously, so it might just be a little bit too close, in fact. So we could be set for 2 more laps of the Imola circuit, the iconic ribbon of tarmac, 4.9 kilometres of sheer driving brilliance. One of the most iconic circuits in the world has produced another stellar race in this Simsport Racing GT4 Championship, which you can get involved in if you're watching on, and if you want to take part, please head to the link in the description to join the Discord server, and you could be out on track as soon as next week in this GT4 Championship when we head to Suzuka. 90 seconds on the clock, though. Rich Pixley leads the way still. A reduced margin, though, to Marcus Hagel. It's now down to 0.6 of a second. Hagel, in fact, going purple in the first sector on that previous lap. So the McLaren, plenty of pace still to be used in the closing stages, as Mitchell somehow is holding on to that 3rd place position, Aaron. I can't quite believe we haven't seen those two exchange positions more than once this race.
Yeah, no, they exchanged blows. I think it's slightly frustration from Adam 𝗬𝗪𝗡's side, really. You know, he wants that podium. You can sense it. He feels like he's faster than 𝗏𝗏 in that Maserati. As he looks towards the inside, just going to fall in behind. But you know, when all is said and done, he will. If he causes an accident, he will return the position back. So I feel like that's fair and respectful as he's continued to battle.
So through Aqua Minerale for the penultimate time, Mitchell and 𝗬𝗪𝗡, but further up the road, in fact to the tune of nearly 14 seconds, it's Pixley and Hagel fighting for the race lead. 0.5 separated them on the previous run through the timing sector, but really it means nothing because Hagel is now close enough to definitely give it a go on the run down the start-finish stretch. That Aston Martin advantage of Pixley carrying 30 kilos of ballast compared to the 10 of Hagel's McLaren 570S, and as they cross the timing line to start what will be the final lap of the race. Hagel is so close. Has he got the run? He dives to the inside. Can he make the move into Tamburello? No. Pixley does just enough to hold on to the race lead. And that is probably Hagel's best opportunity to make the move. In fact, he dips 2 wheels into the sand on the exit of the opening sequence. That's going to cost him time as 𝗬𝗪𝗡 looks to the outside of Mitchell. Can he do it? Yes, he goes around the outside. Gets the job done on the Maserati. What a pass from the number 111 Audi. But get the feeling Mitchell's going to try and fight back immediately on the run down into Villeneuve. Up the inside. No, 𝗬𝗪𝗡 swoops around the outside again. And Aaron, what a pass from the 𝗏𝗏 Racing driver.
I mean, it was the pass, but it was what that led up to the pass. If you noticed, he kinked his back right tyre onto the grass, and it rotated the Audi to the point where it looked like he was about to start into a spin, or you know, start to lose control of the car. And what actually happened was it gripped up. I hope we can get a replay of that. The car gripped up as he's taking the chicane, and it worked out beautifully. I mean, That is some big cojones, That's really good.
A rather unconventional way to generate rotation in the car, isn't it? Sticking a right rear wheel onto the grass. You won't want to do that again. As Marcus 𝗤𝗒𝗒, though, looks to be running out of opportunities, and I get the feeling that it's time up for the number 117 McLaren, so close to the victory. I wonder if we'll get a photo finish on the run to the line. Pixley, though, has stayed measured and he's able to hold on to the lead, and a fantastic run through the final 2 corners at 𝗪𝗏𝗧. Rich Pixley is going to win here at Imola in Season 6 of the Simsport Racing GT4 Championship. It's round 4, and halfway through the season, we have a new victor as Marcus 𝗤𝗒𝗒 finishes 2nd place ahead of Ādams Ipsalovic, who managed to grab that final step on the rostrum on that final lap of the race. Regan Mitchell making a mistake in the latter half of that final lap, dropping back and nearly into the clutches of 𝗪𝗏𝗔𝗦𝗏, who finishes 5th, just ahead of Kieran Vidago in 6th. And it's a train of cars. Pinchbeck's going to finish 7th. His first appearance this season in the number 43 Alpine, just ahead of Mark 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 the race behind 𝗦𝗘𝗕𝗏𝗔𝗥, unable to get the move done and hold on to a position higher up inside the top 10. And then count the seconds, and Aaron Walker further back, he's weaving to the line of championship leader. Probably lucky to come away with 11th place, considering he had a drive-through penalty and was involved in a couple of incidents early on. In fact, he's dropped the car into the wall just for good measure. Then it's Fife in 12th, and Simon Wilkes rounding out the order in 13th, a lap down. With the reverse grid in play, it is the number 12 Audi that will be starting the race from pole position alongside Cameron Fife, and I believe it's Fife will be Fife's first appearance on the front row for the start of a Simsport Racing GT4 event. But Aaron, once again, we've got a classic GT4 race played out before us, a new winner in the championship, and drama for the standings leader.
Yeah, I mean, it was plain sailing for Pixley for most of that race. A steady start, just edged his way, increased that gap to the rest of the pack, and then all of a sudden he had a huge mountain to climb with Marcus. Well, first of all, Regan Mitchell closing in, made a few mistakes, and Marcus Hagel, who had that deadly straight line speed in the McLaren, who just couldn't make it stick for him. But that must have been sweaty palms for Richard Pixley.
But great to see him get a win, because he has raced in the championship for a long time, and as well he was our season 5 AM class champion. So when we did have the split grid, he is a champion, but now he takes his first overall victory in the championship. I'm sure we'll hear from Rich shortly. We're just waiting for the drivers to join the interview room, and we'll get a word with them post race. But really, I suppose it's throwing the cat amongst the pigeons with Aaron Walker finishing so far down the order, Aaron, because he might be our championship leader, but come next time, he'll be starting right up at the sharp end, and that KTM's going to be quick at Suzuka.
Yeah, I mean, starting third at Suzuka, would be I think he started like roughly 15th in the last season 5. So I kind of feel like this is such an improvement for him, and he's going to have cars that may not be necessarily good at high speed, high downforce corners, where the KTM will be. So he will still have a battle in his hands with Simon Wilkes and Cameron Fife in that BMW, which both have got the legs. But I definitely think he'll have the lap times to overcome them.
Okay, so we've got a number of drivers in the interview booth, so let's head down and get a word with our podium finishers. So I'm here in the interview booth with a couple of our drivers from this Imola race this evening, and we'll go to our second place finisher first. It's Marcus Hagel, driver of the 117 Pulse Simsport McLaren. And Marcus, I'm sure you'll be happy, 2 consecutive podium finishes. You were also close to taking that win away from Rich Pixley.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Absolutely didn't expect it, starting from P12, I think. Yeah, we're pretty lucky with the battles in front of me, so gained a lot of positions there. Coming good through the traffic. Yeah, I'm happy.
How did you find the McLaren was to drive around the Imola circuit? A very different track to Paul Ricard, where you achieved third place last time out.
Felt pretty good, so can't complain about it. Didn't expect it with the curbs and something, so it was really stable.
Good stuff. Well, congratulations on your podium finish tonight, Marcus. I look forward to seeing you make a similar run of things next time out at Suzuka.
Yeah, I hope so. Cheers.
We'll go over to our third place finisher, 𝗪𝗏𝗡𝗪, driver of the number 111 Simsport Racing Audi. Adam, a very spectacular race up and down the order, but your move on that final lap for the podium, I suppose you must be happy with that one.
Yes, of course. Car was very, very good. I had great battles throughout the field. Battle with Regan, it was awesome, and yeah, I didn't expect that he would not defend the last one too, but I just tried it and it worked. So I loved it. It was very, very fun.
Brilliant stuff. We did see an incident between you two on the run down to 𝗪𝗞𝗘. There was contact made. Could you just walk us through that incident, and do you feel that you alleviated any sort of penalty by giving the position back?
Oh, I'm sure in the wrong, but somehow it was a weird situation because Regan's car was braking, then start braking and doing it again, and I was like confused in a second, and that was good enough for me to hit him basically. But I guess that was all in the heat of the battle, right? So hopefully he doesn't report me enough for that. But of course, I will give back the position. That's what's all it about, right? Fairness as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And this season, 4th, 5th and 5th place finishes. So you're inside the top 5, but it must feel good to get a podium tonight.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm really happy. I didn't expect it. I had a lot of problems going through the fields. I wasn't lucky like Mr. 𝗧𝗪𝗡𝗘𝗏. Congrats to Pixel and 𝗧𝗪𝗡𝗏, by the way. And yeah, but it was fun overall. It was really clean, except that my mistake. So sorry again, Regan. Wasn't intentional.
Thank you very much, Adam, for joining us here, and I look forward to seeing you next time out at Suzuka.
Thank you, Tim.
We'll head over to our race victor. First time he's won overall in the Simsport Racing GT4 Championship. Richard Pixley, driver of the number 11 𝗬𝗙𝗕𝗏 Racing Aston Martin. Now, Rich, congratulations on your victory tonight. You were out front from the start. You certainly had the pressure applied in the final 10 minutes.
I had pressure throughout, Tim. That was a very tough race.
It looked a tough one indeed, because there was plenty of quick drivers and different characteristics as well of these GT4 cars. Some of them quick in a straight line, and others better around the more technical parts of the Imola circuit. How did you find the Aston Martin was in terms of battling with other cars? Because Marcus Hagel's McLaren is certainly very slippy in a straight line.
Yeah, I had to just make sure I got the last corner absolutely perfect, so you didn't have the slingshot down the back straight and on the straight, sorry.
Brilliant stuff, and looking forward to next week. It's the Suzuka race. You'll be starting down the order. Do you think you can fight through the field, or do you think tonight that your race victory was helped by a grid position further up the order?
I wouldn't like to say the grid position helped, but I honestly think it did. Obviously, I don't know what happened behind, but I think Regan was behind me for a good few laps, and I saw him slip away. So that was luck on my behalf. And going on to Suzuka, I'd like to do some battling, but we'll see. We'll see.
Just to let you know, you join a group of 13 drivers with one victory to their name in Simsport Racing, but you are a driver that's taken part in the majority of races, I believe, if not all of them in this championship. So how does it feel to finally get a race victory after 5.5 seasons?
Good. About time, I'd like to say, but practice makes perfect, so I think that's what I just got to keep doing.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations on your result this evening, Richard. Look forward to seeing you next time out at Suzuka.
Thanks, Tim. Congrats to Marcus, and Adam.
Thank you very much. So, Aaron, we heard there from the drivers, we heard from our race winner, Richard, who seemed fairly muted considering that he's competed in, I believe, every race so far in this championship. A race victory, though, well deserved because he soaked up that pressure from Marcus Hagel.
Yeah, what a fantastic job. Really kept us cool when he really needed to as well, because the pressure was there. And not only from Marcus Hagel, but 𝗏𝗏 Mitchell. It was a real surprise actually see Mitchell kind of dropped off. Obviously, he did have that incident involved with Adam Isalovic, but he made a few mistakes in zone. We saw him in the sand traps a couple of times, and he wasn't the only driver. So Imola catching out a few drivers, but it's great to see another winner added to the stack of winners here at Simsport.
Well, thank you very much, Aaron, for joining me once again in the commentary box. It's been another twist and turn in the Simsport Racing GT4 6th season of this championship. Our championship leader, Aaron Walker, finishing right down the order. That's certainly going to add some spice into the mix, owing to the reverse grid and him starting towards the sharp end of things next time out at Suzuka. I've been Tim Fullbrook, joined in the commentary box by Aaron Martin-Pilkington once again. Would like to thank those who have been watching along from home despite the brief interruption in proceedings. It was great to see so many rejoin the stream, and thanks once again to our broadcast director, Steve Proudley. Hopefully next time we get another thriller in the championship. I wouldn't be too surprised to see it at Suzuka. Until then, same time, same place next week. Thank you very much and good night.